Hello everyone, welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0 episode talk. So in this episode, Kaiba duels Grandpa. And if Grandpa wins, Yugi is free and will not be harmed at all. Meanwhile, the gang arrive at Kaiba land and a man picks us up and then we get to see Kaiba beating Grandpa with 3 blue eyes white dragons, while Grandpa only has 1. So then the gang grabs Grandpa, which by the way, it's time to leave, but no, nobody leaves. But then Grandpa's like, Yugi, take my deck and beat him. That kind of stuff, you know, this classic first episode of Duel Monster stuff. However, then Kaiba takes Grandpa back, and it's time for the ultimate game called Death T. And basically, Death T is just a giant tower, and each floor has a different game that you have to win, that kind of stuff. And the gang fully believe that Yugi is going to win this bad boy. And then the lights turn on and the crowd is there, and it's like, excuse me, did these people see what just happened? The Grandpa was taken against his will, and he threatened Yugi. And did nobody else notice that? Was that just basically the curtain being on them, and then the curtain got pulled? Like, what happened? Did nobody else see the fact that there was just a threat that happened? Okay, whatever, doesn't matter. So the gang enter Death T ready for the W. Bakura is also in the crowd, by the way. So stage 1 is basically the station is under attack. Put on your vest, grab your guns, and defend. And basically, there are 2 sides. Both of them got the message. The other side is the enemy, and they gotta basically beat the person by shooting the marker on their vest. And apparently, these are expert people. And Miho also has to join, and technically, she only came here to cheer, and it's like, then why are you not in the audience? You should be with the audience to cheer. What's wrong with you? That's where you cheer. You don't stand on the battlefield to cheer. We don't need a cheerleader in Warzone, okay? But anyway, it will be a 5 versus 3 thing, so at least we have the advantage. So we go inside. However, Miho is a little bit sleepy, so she takes a little nap. Meanwhile, Joey has an idea. He's gonna take the high road because he told you he was hurt, bleeding from the inside. However, he jumps around and then gets shot because, yeah, okay. We need an example to be made, and apparently the guns are real, boys. They're real laser guns. So then the gang head over to Joey, without Miho, obviously, because she's asleep and all that stuff. And afterwards, they get surrounded by the 3. So now they have to escape, and they figure out a way to escape. However, Tristan does get shot in the shoulder. At least the shoulder pad gets shot off. And that officially confirms that, yes, this is absolutely real. So then afterwards, the 3 are like, where's the 4th one? There was another one. Ah, well, probably ran home crying. But then Miho wakes up, looks around the corner, sees the 3, starts screaming and shooting everywhere and taking all 3 of them out. And I do not care if this was made specifically for a joke. Miho beat them, and that's what matters. This is what I wanted. I didn't just want Yugi to solve everything. I wanted other characters to solve stuff too, and Miho takes down the expert army people. Yes, Miho, we are all very proud of you here at Assassin Prime HQ. But yeah, we won. So now it's on to the next stage. By the way, Joey is still alive, just a little bit bruised. And for the next one, everyone has to pull down a lever, and except for Yugi. And when they do, the ground opens up. By the way, Miho has difficulties holding the lever down. But anyway, the ground opens up, and not all of it, it's just in pieces. And basically now a robot comes down over the pieces that are, you know, still here. And basically, Yugi has to choose which lever to let go of. Now, the thing is, there's already a little spoiler because Miho lets go of the lever a little bit because of the fact that it is too much for her tiny little arms. However, then the robot speeds up. So that's obviously if you choose wrong, the thing speeds up. But that obviously means that Miho's lever is not the one to let go of. So it's either Tristan, Joey, or Taya. And I actually guessed right. I didn't know. Like, I was like, well, Taya makes the most amount of sense. And actually, when Yugi explains it, I mean, I think he explains it a little bit too much. But anyway, I was like, yeah, it's Taya. So Yugi has difficulties deciding, but then the gang encourage Yugi, obviously. And then Yugi's like, wait, Taya, let go. She lets go, and it's correct. And why? Well, because of the fact that this robot has taken too many L's, boys. Yes, indeed, because the robot is called Blood, and it doesn't like not being called Blood, okay? Blood is its name. However, Blood is spelled with 2 L's on the robot. I was like, wait, that's 2 L's. That must be Taya, right? Taya has to let go. Yugi's like, well, if you look at it through computer stuff, you have L's and zeros. You know, you got 1s and 0s and all that stuff. That could be L and O and all that stuff. But Blood is spelled with 2. It's like, dude, it's just the fact that blood is spelled with one L. That is the answer. He goes on this long explanation for something so simple. But yeah, anyway, there you go. We did it, boys. We are done. We made it past. So then immediately we get sent to stage 3, at which point blocks fall from the sky, from the ceiling. And now the next game is going to be find your way out without being crushed to death. So yeah, that's also where the episode ends. And overall, loved the episode, especially the Miho stuff. Loved it. Thought it was absolutely funny. And I was cheering for Miho. And I can't wait to see what happens next. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comment section down below. It's a shorter one because of the fact that we didn't really have duels. But with that being said, thank you all. And I hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you did, please like, and subscribe if you're new with us already. Turn on notifications. Don't forget to check out the Let's Play channel. Link description and at the end of the video. And I'll see you guys next time for when we climb Death T. Bye.